Hi. First, I wanted to say I'm so grateful to be with you and be experiencing this day. It's almost overwhelming. And I didn't expect to get emotional. One of my favorite subjects to talk about is Abraham's teachings, and it's absolutely one of my favorite things to do. But it gets difficult sometimes when you're talking to people that really don't understand it and don't get it, and say things like, well, that doesn't work for me, I'm a realist. And my question to you is, what is the short answer to give them?
Good for you, I'm a vibrational realist. And if they say what, rather than if they say what, if they're interested, then you could say, I used to be a realist because I used to just love to talk about reality, to observe reality, to pigeonhole reality, to compare reality. Oh, I was really into reality. And then I discovered that my reality couldn't change as long as that's all I looked at. So I just kept getting different places and different faces, but it was the same reality. And then I realized there must be something more. And when I started asking, is there something more? I discovered that there is a vibrational reality that precedes all reality. And if I will focus upon the vibrational reality, I can find more joy faster. And then my reality shifts, improves, shifts, improves, shifts, improves, shifts, improves. And I have a sense that that was what I was born to do. I believe that I create my reality. But when I face the reality I've already created, I stand still.
So,
and they won't get it.
No, I know. But that's the conversation I just had with someone the other day. It's like you just say, well, would you be better off, exposing people to your negative way of thinking, or?
Well, here's the thing. You've been listening to us here today.
Right.
And you heard us making fun of our own brilliant cards. You heard us talking about how when you affirm outside the vortex, that all it does is just make you dig in stronger. So if we're not encouraging you to try to shore up your creation from outside the vortex, why would you try to shore up somebody else's when they're outside the vortex? In other words, you're not going to convince someone outside the vortex of any of this.
That how wonderful the vortex is.
Let's say it's someone you love. Let's say it's one of your children. Let's say it's your lover or your husband or your wife. Not that they need to be different. Let's say that you are having a moment with someone who you really would like to understand about the vortex because your life is so enhanced and you'd like them to know it too.
Right.
But they're clearly not in the vortex. Well, the win factor that we've been talking about is not now. In other words, don't try to talk to them about it when they are out of the vortex. Children know that, don't they? Mm-hmm. When you were little, didn't you know when was a good time to ask for the car and when was not a good time to ask for the car? It's the same thing. In other words, don't ask somebody out of the vortex to understand this stuff. And don't ask yourself to understand it or to make great improvements when you're outside the vortex. Just wait till you're in the vortex and then practice it until you're in the vortex time begins to take higher precedent, more air time in the vortex, and then everything begins to improve. As teachers, and you are a room full of teachers and healers and uplifters, you want to help other people. But haven't you noticed that when your attention is upon their problem, and so this is when you want to talk to them about it, now instead of you bringing them into the vortex, your attention to their problem has you out of the vortex, and now it's just words that don't make sense to anybody. But don't you have those incredibly brilliant insights where you're in the vortex? Jerry and Esther have just been chatting recently because so many new insights. Their life has been giving them so much to think about and so much to talk about. And they're so enjoying the fine-tuning and the understanding of this. So eager to step forward always into the present tense reality. They're going to Australia again. They've been the last 2 Decembers. And it's odd because going there, they cross the date line. And so today it's Saturday in Seattle, but it's Sunday in Sydney. From Sydney, they would call the office and say, we're living your future. And it's really good over here. You'll like it when you get there. But that's not really an accurate statement, because whether you're in Sydney or Seattle, it's still right now. Right. It's still now. Whether you're physical or non-physical, whether it's the non-physical part of you or the physical part of you, it's all happening right now. Right now. And this rendezvous where you meet you, this juncture, is a vibrational juncture, you see. And it's happening right now. It's what we want to refer to as real time. And so only when you really meet you are you fully present in this experience. And then we like to say that this vortex is present tense, which means that reality that your friends are all wanting to face is old news. If it's manifested, it's old. It's old because the really new stuff hasn't manifested yet. And if we could just get your attention that it's the really new stuff that feels so good, you see. So getting back to what you might say to someone is that it's hard to explain, you could say to them. It's more of a feeling that I have, but I'm happiest when I'm reaching forward into who I am becoming rather than documenting who I've already become. So I stopped facing reality because I couldn't do both. You could give them a further analogy. It's like when I drive, I found it doesn't work very well when I look straight down. Much better when I'm looking out there where I'm going, you see. And it's the same sort of thing. Facing reality is facing old news. Now what?
I just want to say thank you for all the wisdom that you've shared with all of us and throughout the years. I mean, it's just been wonderful. I even got to write a small little book with Abraham sprinkled all the way through it. And I'm so grateful.
I want to give you one little piece of something you said when you first sat down about being grateful. And we want to point out to you that while the word grateful, gratitude, and the word appreciation seem almost the same, if you look them up in the dictionary, there won't be too much difference. But gratitude is what realists do. And appreciation is what those in the vortex do. Because in gratitude, there is the looking at what's been overcome. Only in looking at it, you're not overcoming it in that moment. You're in it. In other words, it's laced with the struggle that you're talking about having left behind, but you haven't left it behind. And we're nitpicking here, we know, but there is a huge vibrational difference in gratitude and appreciation. One's in the vortex, the other one isn't.
I'll never sign off again saying ingratitude.
It's old news.
I always sign off my emails and my letters in gratitude.
We know now you do. That's why we're having this conversation.
In appreciation.
It's old news. It's old news.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Many humans have been trying to convince God to be as mean and angry as they are. Some have even put words in God's mouth. Some have turned God into a vengeful God. And we want you to understand that's man's out of the vortex perspective of something that is not. In other words, when man speaks of a vengeful God, it's because he's looking through vengeful glasses, his own vengeful glasses. Because you cannot set your radio dial at 6:30 a.m. and hear what's being broadcast at 98.7 FM. The frequencies have to match up. So when you feel anger, when you feel fear, when you feel depression, when you feel frustration, you're feeling those emotions because what you're focused upon has you vibrationally departed or separated. That's too strong a word, but pinched off from. You're at a different vibrational frequency than the source energy that is really you, and that's why you are suffering the resistance or the pinching offedness. So negative emotion is what happens. For example, you're sifting through life and you don't have enough money, let's say, So you ask for more. And boy, have you ever been doing that? Asking, 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 asking. There's a veritable fortune amassed for you in your vibrational reality, in this vortex of expansion and freedom and joy. There is this veritable financial fortune that is amassed because of your asking and asking and asking. And the non-physical part of you stands as the beer, as the owner, as the holder of all of that financial abundance, holding steady that signal so that you can feel your way into vibrational alignment with it. So when you feel optimistic, you're moving in the right direction. Pessimism, the wrong direction. When you're financially afraid, you're far from alignment. When you're hopeful, you're right on the verge of manifestation. And if you hang around in hopeful attitude for just a little while, this vortex that law of attraction is managing will take you right in and make a believer out of you. In other words, you don't have to hope very long in that almost aligned vibrational stance before the vortex takes you in and gives you evidence of your alignment. And then you believe. Briefly. You do that often enough, you get into hope often enough, you'll become a believer often enough that you will come to know your financial well-being. Now, we could give you that same analogy, whether your body is sick and you're asking for wellness, or you're missing a lover and want one, or you've got an ornery lover and would like one that's more congenial. In other words, whatever it is that you're living is causing you to ask all day, every day. And we so much want you to know that when you ask that it is given, that we've written a book and given it the title. Here it is. Proof. When you ask, it is given. But it's not just that it is given. It is that it becomes. It vibrationally becomes. Now, many of you say, big deal. It's vibrationally become, but can I spend it? And we say everything that you know as this earth spinning in this orbit, even the people upon it and the animals upon it, all of that was a vibrational reality at one time. Everything that becomes manifest is first a vibrational reality. So when you begin to understand the power of this vibrational reality, that's what we're going to work on together here today. We're going to convince you, we're going to give it everything that we and Esther have. We are going to convince you that this vibrational reality is where it all is. We want, by the end of this gathering, for you to know, as we know, that what you are calling reality is old news. By the time it's manifested, even if you just got that new car today, it's old news. Because by the time it's manifested, you have long come into alignment with it, you see. Where it's really at, the fresh, new, expansive you is in this vibrational reality. And you know how you know? When you're moving toward it, you feel great. When you're moving away from it, you feel awful. When you are in vibrational sync with your vibrational reality, even before it is manifested, you feel wonderful. And do you know? Everything that you want, whether it's a material object, a state of being, a state of mind, whether it's a relationship, a pile of money, a material object, every single thing that you or anyone has ever wanted, you want for one reason and one reason only. You think you will feel better in the having of it. You think you will feel better in the having of it. You think you will feel better in the having of it. Think about the feeling of love. Think about coming together. Sometimes you have to think back to the beginning of your relationship. Think about that newfound being in love. You know that feeling of being in love? Do you remember that feeling of being in love? It wasn't about stuff. It wasn't about places. It was about how you felt. It was about how you felt, and you associated it with this person that you were feeling that way about and who was feeling that way about you. But it was a vibrational state. It was alignment. You were just using that relationship and that person as your excuse to line up with who you are. And that feeling of in love is you lining up with who you are. That's the feeling of passion. That's the feeling of eagerness. That's the feeling of joy. That's the feeling of love. That's who you are, and that's how you're supposed to feel. That's how you optimally do feel when there is not active resistance within you in any point in time. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. We'll talk about law of attraction all day today. Mostly, we're going to talk about this vortex. We're going to talk about this vibrational reality where everything that you've become and all cooperative components to all of that have already been assembled.